I want to talk about the do it all yourself myth that's holding you back from actually letting go and creating real growth. Because for many of you, you've been lied to. Working more hours is not the real secret to getting ahead. Believing you have to do everything could be exactly what's holding you back from your own next level. So I want to be honest with you for a minute because for years I believed that hustle type too, because that's what I was taught. I was taught that you have to work hard to get what you want. I thought if something was going to be done right, I had to do it myself. I learned this at a very young age from my parents that believed everything had to be done yourself if you want it done right. That meant late nights, weekends lost, and constantly feeling like I never clock out. You know what I'm talking about, where your mind is reeling over and over and you can't stop thinking? Does that sound familiar? And if you're nodding right now, I want you to ask yourself, how often do you feel like you're drowning in your own to do list? Because for many of us, including myself, it was like a never ending to do list. So, where does this come from? A culture that glorifies busyness and hustle and maybe even a little bit of fear. Fear that if you slow down, you'll lose that edge. Fear that if you let things go, things will just fall apart. But the truth is, this mindset is everywhere and it's quietly sabotaging our success. And I know this because I've tested it over and over. And I'm going to tell you when things changed for me. And it was when I had this wake up moment that when I actually stepped back from the business, I was more creative. My team stepped up. A lot of things changed. I was actually passionate about my business again. And there was a day when I was spending more time on tasks that drained me, not the ones that moved me to the mission forward. I hit this wall every time. I would just keep hitting it like that. So the turning point is when I decided to trust someone else with a big project, something I used to obsess over myself. And one of those projects was like year end task, all the year end stuff that's hitting a lot of you right now. And I decided I was not doing those year end tasks anymore. But I made the decision to stop doing them and let go of that control. Was it scary? Absolutely. But the world didn't end. And you know what? The work got done. Because the moment I decided that I was going to do, that I was not going to do those year end tasks anymore, I took the time and I said, these are all the things I do. This is all the tasks that's related to them. And then I said, okay, what information do I need to transfer? And then I documented that information. And while this might sound too much right now for many of you that are stuck in this, it starts with one thing, one client, one thing at a time, and saying, I don't want to do that anymore because that person can do it. And you know, once I made that realization, I've never done year-end task again. I think I'm on my third or fourth year now of not doing those year-end tasks. They're done by my team. And so then all I get is it to review to make sure everything's ready for the tax return. And then I send it right back for them to do the tax return. And while this might sound overwhelming for you right now, I want you to stop and think, what is the micro action that I can do? And that's what it started with. Started with the decision that I never want to do this task again. Okay, and now how do I do that? And it started with one client, 1 year in process at a time. Because when you try to be everything to everyone, you dilute your impact. When you focus on your uniqueness and trust others with the rest, you become explosive in value. Because the world's most successful leaders don't do it all alone. They build teams and focus on their strengths. Because those year end tasks, Those were not what I was best at. What I was best at was looking at it from a high level. Is this right? I wasn't best at doing all the little minutia things of it. So you asked me, so what does this look like for me? So I want to give you 3 steps to break free from the do it all trap. List everything you do, write out your weekly task. And this, say it ugly first. And usually what I did is I had a Google Doc or a Google Sheet open. And as I was doing it, I was just listing it out. And then I would highlight, never want to do that again. Identify your zone of genius. Circle the things only you can do, what lights you up and what moves the needle. And at first, this was hard. It wasn't easy. But with that list, and you can even do it on a piece of paper and circle it, I started identifying what made work not so hard. And why I felt so overwhelmed and so burnt out was because I was doing all the stuff that wasn't in my zone of genius. And then I dare you for the rest. Can I delegate this? Can I automate this? Can I remove it completely or elevate someone else to own it? Because there were some tasks I was doing that we didn't even need to be doing. They made no difference. Because you don't need a huge team to start. One small shift can open up hours in your week by just getting clear. So here's my challenge for you this week. So this week, pick one task you're currently doing that someone else can handle. And this could be a person or it could be a system. I use the two hand in hand because they can go. Let it go. And I promise your business and your life will thank you. So, one thing I would like to ask you, if you're ready to drop the do it all myth or tag a friend who needs to hear this, and if you want to hear more tactical tips on building a business that runs without you, follow me for more because I have so many of these tips as I moved from being so in my business that I couldn't see straight to actually leading the ship. So comment delegate if you want to know any more of those tips, and I will be glad to send them over to you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon.